Welcome to Scientific Writing Institute. This presentation is about writing an impressive abstract, and that abstract can be for your scientific paper, thesis, or a conference. The learning objective of this video are that we will be talking about abstract, and as I mentioned that abstracts are needed for scientific paper, for thesis, for grants, for journal articles and book chapters. Everywhere you have to write an abstract for your detailed paper. And we will be talking about the types of abstracts and structural components of the abstract, as well as discuss about the good abstract writing practices. First, we have to know what is the purpose of an abstract in a scientific writing. Abstract summarize the research article. Abstract grab the attention and entice the reader to read the paper. Abstracts are used in indexing purposes, and databases use abstracts in their keywords. Abstracts help reader in understanding the lengthy documents in the shortest possible time, and clear and concise and effective abstract is the real power of your paper. Now we know that abstract is a summary of a scientific writing, and lengthwise this summary can be of two types. It can either be as in the form of shorter abstract that range in 150 to 350 words, or could be longer abstract. So shorter abstracts are basically for research paper, for grant, for journal writing, and for conference. Although certain conferences has abstract length more than 500 or 600 words, as abstract is the only thing that is published in conference proceedings. When you need longer abstract for your thesis, you need an abstract that is a bit longer than the normal abstract. And for call for proposal, if you are writing a proposal for a book, or if you are serving as an editor of a journal and you want to have a special edition of that journal, you will need an extensive abstract that range between 1000 to 2000 words. As far as the types of abstracts are concerned, and that is about short length abstract, they are mainly of two types: descriptive abstract and informative abstract. There is a third type of abstract also, that is a graphical abstract, and we will be talking about this one. So how these descriptive and informative abstract differ from each other, it's based on the components of the abstract and length of the abstract. But remember, the objective of an abstract is to summarize the work presented in the paper or in a scientific writing in a natural and an objective way. First, we discuss about the descriptive abstract. A descriptive abstract is a description of the scientific work. A descriptive abstract describes problem statement, research question, and relevant methodology for conducting the research outlined in that scientific paper. There are no results, no discussion, or conclusion section in the descriptive abstract. The length of descriptive abstract is very short, is between 100 and 150 words. The second type of abstract, informative abstract, summarize the scientific paper in a comprehensive way. And an informative abstract extend further the descriptive abstracts, the component that we discuss in the descriptive abstract, and we further add results, conclusions, and recommendation. Informative abstracts obviously are relatively longer than the descriptive abstract because they have the result section, conclusion, and recommendation section. The length of informative abstract varies between 250 to 350 words, and sometimes it might be a bit longer also. Before we talk about the graphical abstract, it will be prudent to talk about architecture of an abstract. And these are the four components of a comprehensive abstract. First is importance of the research, which is also called as statement of the problem. Next one is how the research was performed. That discuss about the methodology section. And the third one is outcome of the research. And these outcomes are in the form of results. And the fourth one is what new information the research adds to already existing body of information in the field. Here is an example of an abstract having all the four components that we discussed in the previous slide. And this abstract first starts with the statement of the problem. That is, the p53 gene has been implicated in the onset of cancer. Accurate knowledge about p53 gene sequences will help in understanding its role in the onset of cancer. Now, the next part right away comes the methodology part, and that is, in this experiment, p53 gene was sequenced from 10 individuals suffering with lung cancer and 10 healthy individuals. Upon isolating genomic DNA from small biopsy sample, it was sent for sequencing to a commercial vendor. Upon receiving the sequences, the p53 genes from all individuals, including cancer and healthy controls, were subjected to multiple alignment. So this methodology described the experiment as well as describe the controls that were used also, which are the healthy people compared with the people who are suffering with cancer. So, what were the results? The results were that people suffering with cancer showed several mutations in the p53 gene. Majority of these mutations were in the N-terminus region of the gene. So, here it tells that what we got by using this specific methodology, these are known as results. And the last one is the conclusion and recommendation. And here it is. This study shows that commercial sequences can be used to identify mutations in p53 genes of people suffering with cancer. Based on the observation, it is concluded that p53 gene mutations are associated with lung cancer. So let's talk now about the third type of abstract, that is a graphical abstract. Graphical abstract is a single picture describing the overall research. And you know it, a picture is worth 1,000 words, so the graphical abstract picture should be one of the best one. It should provide reader a take-home message of the paper. And for graphical abstract, the journals has specifications for size, fonts, file size like JPEG, TIFF, or GIF, and so on. Here is a good example of a graphical abstract. The title of the paper is Crosstalk between activation of microglia and astrocytes and pathological condition in the central nervous system. And rest is the reference over here. So you can see it, how the microglia, they are interacting with astrocytes and their activation and inhibition, as well as several other mechanisms operating. So this picture is talking about overall what is being described in the research paper. Before you start writing an abstract, you have to know about the requirements where you will be submitting your scientific paper. Each scientific journal has specific requirement for an abstract, and the types of abstract and even the number of words are also specified. Same is for the conference. Each and every conference specify abstract requirement. Thesis requirement varies. And don't forget the general feature of an abstract. Its word limit is between 150 to 350 words, though it will vary for thesis. Uh, and one of the most important thing is that write in simplistic language. So reader from allied disciplines should be able to get an understanding about your work and can read it further. This slide talk about to-do list for abstract. Uh, and one of the first important thing is reading colleague abstract in your relevant field before you start writing your abstract. Pay attention to instruction for the journal, conference, university requirements. And always write in past or present tense. Future tense is fatal in the abstract. Never ever future tense. In most of the abstract, they are in single paragraph, and you have to maintain the sequence, start with a problem statement, a research question, go to method section, and then results, and finally conclusion section. In writing abstract, if you have a problem, try to get help from your colleagues, your peers, or your senior working in your institution. It is advisable to write several abstracts at different times and choose the best one. And remember, writing abstract is the last component of your research paper and right at the end. So the last slide is about don't do in the abstract is never try to put explanation or definition of terms in the abstract. Avoid using abbreviation or acronyms in the words. No referencing at all in the abstract, and no equation in the abstract. Thank you very much for watching this presentation, and I wish you all the best in writing your good abstract. Best of luck.